On to the Big 12. We saved the best for last. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I am a Big 12 fan, so YOLO. Cincinnati, Utah. Cole, you want to start us off?
I've been beyond impressed with Cincinnati's offense this year. I think that that's really been one of the most underrated parts of Big 12 play. And I wasn't high on Scott Satterfield as a coach. In fact, I said that he should have been on the hottest seat of all the Big 12 coaches going into this year, maybe minus Dave Aranda. I didn't buy into what we saw from Brendan Sorsby. There were a lot of people that even I remember meeting up with, and they told me, "Hey, dude, you gotta start watching more Sorsby tape. Like he's legit." And honestly, we got to start putting him at least in the conversation for Big 12 Player of the Year. Maybe if you want to go Davey O'Brien, that's fine. He's not going to win the Heisman because he plays in the Big 12, and that's atrocious. But still, he has been phenomenal this year. 20-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He's completing, if I'm not mistaken, just over 68% of his passes, nearly 2,000 yards through the air. But he also is a good runner. He's at 69 carries. He's averaging 6.2 yards an attempt. 400 plus yards on the ground. He leads the team in rushing touchdowns. So you not only got to prepare for him when you take on his arm, you also got to prepare for him when you take on his legs. The thing about that I really like when it comes to the offensive identity of what Cincinnati is, they're balanced on the ground. Evan Pryor and Tyway Walker both are seeing not the same amount of carries, but they're getting the same amount of yards. One only has 478, the other one has 466. They both have found the end zone 7 times. So they're doing a good job of splitting some things up. Cyrus Allen has been a really interesting find in the passing attack. And then Joe Royer, who was at one point viewed as the next big-time name at Ohio State, he goes on over to Cincinnati. He gets a new NIL deal this offseason, and he's going to represent the Bearcats in the pros next year. He may end up being one of the better teams that better tight end prospects that we talk about as a team that kind of turns the corner and puts themselves in a position to where they can be really successful. It's not a bad defense. They're 28th in the country in points allowed. They're in the top 50 in total yards allowed. They're in the top 50 in run defense this year. They know how to get after quarterbacks. And that's going to be something that Devin Dampier, I think, is going to have some issues with in this matchup. But at the same time, Morgan Scully's defense has been great once again. They also are a top 10 unit this season. They are able to kind of eliminate a lot of the big shot plays downfield. Bear Bachmeier and the BYU Cougars, they won because they were able to connect on third down. I honestly think that if you look at this game plan to beat Utah, you're going to have to follow a similar metric than what you saw from BYU a few weeks ago. It's a late kick, if I'm not mistaken, 9:00 at night or something like that. Between these two, it's out at Rice Eccles Stadium. Game day is going to be there. This, I think, is really going to come down to which team is better on third down conversions. Defensively, is it going to be Morgan Scully's defense, or offensively, is it going to be Brendan Sorsby? If you can get the job done and constantly be able to win on those short yardage situations, Cincinnati at this point, we got to start treating them like a legit threat in the Big 12. I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that they have proven by the way that they've won, they're going to be in every single matchup.
You are correct. 10:15 Eastern time. Yeah. So is that 8:15 in Utah? I think so.
7:15, I believe.
Oh, are they all the way over? Are they?
They? Maybe it is 8:15.
Somewhere night game. They'll be
10:15 p.m. Eastern.
I'll get right back to the video, but first I do want to give some love to Sleeper. Make sure, as this month is winding down, that you go get your free play. You don't even have to make the play, but if they're giving something away for free, go take it. Use our code CFA for a free $20 play on the Sleeper app. That lasts through October. Don't miss out. Don't be messaging me on November 1st and saying, "Oh, can we still get it?" No, go get it right now. Click the link in the description when this video is over, and it'll auto-populate that code for you so you get your free $20 play. We'll play this game more or less every single Wednesday live on the Power 2. You can also get up to $100 match on your first deposit, but you don't have to deposit anything. Just go get the free play. Tom, anything here, or you want to predict it?
Kind of like I was saying before, Cincinnati, the way they run the football is really impressive. Sorsby does exactly all the right things. He's not necessarily going to win the Heisman Trophy this year or anything. I agree with what Cole was saying. Could very well win Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, but he just does all the right things. He pushes all the right buttons. That being said, I do not love this situation on the road at Utah at night. Really tough place to play. Really tough place to play. Give me Utah 27-25.
We do really well with Utah viewers, so I'm not saying this because I want to upset you guys, but I would really like to see Cincinnati win this just because they're kind of a fun team to cheer for. maybe go for the little guy. I just don't see it happening. I like Utah as well to get it done at home. That's a tough place to play, man. And one of the more underrated places to play in the entire country. I know we all think about like the Swamp and Death Valley and the Shoe and all these other places, but that's a really tough place to play. If they win this weekend, I'll solidly move them into the contender talk that we have talked about. I don't know that we'll do that segment again next week, but I'll give them a special shout out just from TJ Pittenger on Monday. I'm sure they'll play that all over the building for the next week, maybe month, if we do that. But yeah, give me Utah 27-26, 1 point win.
Does anybody know the status of Devin Dampier right now?
He
didn't play in that game against Colorado. So that's the thing. So Braylon Ficklin may be the start in this game. I'm riding the hot hand, and it pains me because I love Kyle Whittingham. Kyle Whittingham is one of my favorite coaches of all time. But I just think that right now, the way that we're seeing Cincinnati's offense move, I think their defense does just enough, especially if you don't got Dampier out there. I will go 24-21 final score. Cincinnati gets the job done. They stay in the conversation for a college football playoff bid.
Very rarely do I hope that Cole is right and I'm wrong, but this is one of those times. Good luck, Bearcats. But Utah, I think you got it. So, all right, that's all we got for this week. We will be back on Monday. I assume Monday. But Monday at noon to talk about some of these games, talk about maybe more coaches out. We'll see what Florida State does against Wake Forest. We'll see what Auburn does this weekend. We'll see what does Kentucky play. Like, yeah, all these places where things could happen are interesting, and we'll talk about all of it on the Power 2 here on College Football Addiction. We appreciate you guys for hanging out. We'll talk to you soon.